Hey everybody, welcome back to Couch Potato. It's your girl Sweet Potato, and we're back again with Couch Potato on the Go, our Halloween October series here. And today I am talking about Tragedy Girls. But before we get started, if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and just keep showing your love and support. I've been working really hard on these videos, getting in on my lunch break, trying to get everything to y'all, watching stuff, left and right. So yeah. Also, new hair, who this? So pretty much I have my high school's homecoming tonight, and I was on the dance team, and so we are dancing again tonight. We've been practicing since last week, so we got a pretty good turnout of girls. It's gonna be cool and fun. I should get some footage, so possibly I'll upload a little bit of footage of that. All right, so Tragedy Girls came out last year in 2017. You can find this on Hulu. It is a part of Huluween, so you can find it on Hulu. So it is starring and I'm probably gonna butcher her last name, but it is Brianna Hildebrand, and we know her from Deadpool and Deadpool 2. She plays Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Okay. Also co-starring Alexandra Shipp, which we know Alexandra Shipp from, she's Storm, right, for X-Men. Well, like the young Storm. Anyways, other people they're the main two characters. Other people in the film that we know from other stuff, Josh Hutcherson, he's in the movie, he probably has 5 minutes of screen time, but we know him from Hunger Games. He was Peeta, right? Who else? Everybody else, I don't really know that well. I don't know if I should know them that well, but whatever. So, y'all, this freaking movie, it's a dark comedy. It's not necessarily a horror. There is murder involved, but it's a dark comedy, and y'all, I love this movie so freaking much. I didn't know what I was getting myself into whenever I chose to watch it, but y'all, it was the funniest freaking thing that I've seen in a while, and I really like dark comedies. I don't know, something about the movie and the script of it and the plot of it. I was like, this is some crap that I would write. This is some weirdo shit that I would put down on paper and say, yeah, this is good. And if anybody from my film school is subscribed to the channel and watches, y'all know from some of the projects that I worked on that this is some shit that I would put together. So anyway, pretty much we opened up the movie with Brianna, and her character's name is Sadie. So Brianna is Sadie. She's a little white girl. Alexandra Shipp is Michaela. She's a little black girl. Anyway, they're best friends. So we open up the movie with Sadie making out with some guy in a car, and then she's like, I hear something, and he's like, nah, we're good. And so they kiss a little bit more, and she was like, no, I hear something. And she was like, you should get out and check and see what it is. And he was like, I'm not about to do that. He was every black person, like, I'm not about to get out there and do that. What's wrong with you? And then she was just like, well, I thought that you were a man. I didn't know you were scary, blah, 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 right? Pretty much, reverse psychology him into getting out. So he gets out, he looks around, doesn't see anything, but it still sounds creepy or whatever. He was like, man, fuck this, I'm getting back in the car. He turns around to get back in the car, and then whack across the head, well, through the face. It's like a machete. And yeah, it was a serial killer. And she gets out, she sees the serial killer, and she runs. And he starts chasing her, but then the serial killer gets whacked over the side of the head, and it's her friend Michaela. And they were like, yes, we did it. And so I'm like, what? What is happening here? So pretty much what they did was they were tracking down this serial killer. The serial killer liked blonde girls with pixie cuts. So Brianna's character Sadie cut her hair into a blonde pixie cut, and they started, you know, pretty much putting the serial killer on their trail so they can catch him. So pretty much these two girls are crime reporters, and they have a Twitter page called the Tragedy Girls. And so they, you know, they're totally into serial killers and, you know, investigating crimes and stuff like that. Well, they kidnapped him because they were like, they wanted him to go on a killing spree for them or whatever. And he was like, I'm not gonna do it. And then they were like, well, can you teach us how to be a serial killer? And he said he wouldn't do it. So they just kept him tied up, and they kept him alive or whatever. And the boy that he killed, he didn't kill him all the way, so they had to finish killing him. Then they cut him up, put him in like some acid mixture that they had came up with that disintegrates bodies and bones and stuff. And they were like, do you know how long it took us to get this exact formula right? You know how many cats and dogs had to die to make sure that we got this right? I was like, these bitches is crazy. So anyway, story goes on. They decide that the best way to get their followers up is to go ahead and start killing people. But the problem is, the first dude that died in the movie, everybody just expected that he was missing, and they were like, damn, like, we need people to know that he dead, but they can't say anything because clearly if they do, then they'll get caught. So they were like posting different stuff. They page was struggling. But then Michaela's ex-boyfriend, played by Peter, he has a Twitter that's pretty much the same way, but he has buku more followers because he's like moody and brooding, and he has a motorcycle and blah blah blah, and he's posting like the same type of stuff or whatever. And so they decided they need to kill him so people could revert to looking at their page. So they pretty much staged a motorcycle accident and then stabbed them up. And then the next day the news came to the school and was just like, they were like, so do we think that we have a serial killer because the other guy died and now this guy died? And they were like, it was a motorcycle accident. And they were like, you didn't see the stab wounds? And the lady was like, what? She was like, the real story here is road safety, and that's what we're going to be talking about. And they were like, God damn, how many people are going to have to kill for it to come off like it's not accidental, like we're trying to kill people? Anyway, from there, there was a girl who was on a cheerleading squad, and she was on the homecoming committee, and prom committee. And she was like, well, we think that we shouldn't have a prom because of the guys who died, and we should just donate the money to their families or to a charity in their name. And they were like, we are not canceling prom. Like, we will not be the senior class that does not have a prom. And the girl was like, well, I think that we should. And then she calls a vote, and then everybody votes not to have prom. So they were like, oh, we're gonna kill her. So she's in like wood shop at night, fixing some dollhouse situation that she had that broke. And so she so pretty much one of the girls rose up with her with a mask on, and she was like, are you lost? Did your drama club class, like, did it last long or late or whatever? And then the other girl showed up and she had a knife, and then so they tried to like tag team her, but she was like fighting back, and the only thing that ended up killing her was her foot got caught in you know how the like a garage door, like an industrial garage door, has like the chain or whatever. Her foot got caught in it, and then her head, she was swinging, her head hit the button, and then it goes up, and then the table saw was on, and she swung into it, and it cut like through her head. And they were like, damn, this gonna look like an accident too. How we making that look like an accident? They literally sit there and cut her body up. And so the janitor was there, and they were in there cutting her up. And then the janitor comes in, he has his head down, the trash is right by the door, so he opens the door, puts the trash in the bag, and then walks out. And the whole time they're like holding body parts like, don't move. And then he just just walks out and doesn't see anything. And then the next day, the girl who they killed, her friend comes in and sees the body and like passes out. So then they're like, oh my God, we really do have a serial killer on our hands or whatever. So then they're having a memorial service at the school for the girl that they killed, and they're speaking at it because they were on all these little clubs and activities with her. And so they were like, their little shine time and gloating or whatever. But then right before they was about to be done, the fire, I want to say he was like the fire chief or something. He was like, we need to protect our town and blah, 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 and all of that. And that pissed them off because they were like, so he's stealing our shine. So they decided to kill him. So they had made some type of mixture to put in some water to give it to him at the gym. So Michaela goes in there trying to be all seductive and like puts the stuff in his water. And he drinks it, but then while Sadie's in the car listening, she gets a text from her friend Jordan. And Jordan, I haven't mentioned him earlier, but he edits all of their videos and stuff. He doesn't know that they're doing what they're doing. He just edits the videos for their Twitter page and stuff like that. But his dad is the sheriff of the town, and his daddy don't like them girls anyway. So he's texts her and is like, I'm about to come to your house in a couple of minutes, and she's supposed to be there. So she goes in and she was like, look, we got to get up out of here. And she was like, I almost had it. So, because she hits him over the head or whatever with like a dumbbell. And then he was a big black man, so he was like kicking their ass on the low. And then she finally like stabs him with a knife. And then the other girl hits him over the head with the dumbbell, and he falls backwards onto like the bench press. And then they took the thing off and like sliced him through the head or whatever. And so they left. And then the next day, the dude who ran the gym came and saw him. So, of course. Anyway, the next day they had a candlelight vigil, and they're walking through or whatever, and they're getting all this clout now because it's like, oh my God, what do y'all feel about all of your that your serial killer prediction came true? And they're just like, oh, So while they're walking though, for the vigil, they come up to like a flagpole, and this lady's body's hanging. It's like, did you do that? And it was like, girl, no, I was with you the whole time. Come to find out, the serial killer that they had chained up finally escaped. And so he killed this person, and now he after them trying to kill them. So they scared as hell. But of course they can't say directly who it is, what they did, because then they would go to jail. Anyway, so they end up, what happens after that? Oh my God. Well, I think that they were still okay. But then what ends up happening is they the guy Jordan, who's the sheriff's son, he steals Michaela's burner phone where they got all of their like bad stuff on. And she was telling him like she was telling Sadie like he getting like suspicious, like we need to get rid of him, blah blah blah. And then she noticed that he stole a cell phone, so they said that they was gonna kill him. But Sadie was like, well, he's my friend, so I'll go in his go to his house, go in his room after curfew and slit his throat or whatever. So she goes over there, but then he's like telling her how he thinks that Michaela is doing all of this stuff by herself, and professing like how much he care about her and love her and blah blah blah. Well, in that time they get like a little knock on the door. He think that it's his dad, but it ain't. It's a serial killer man. So he come and stab him in the stomach or in the arm or something. Stab him. Then she try to fight the serial killer, run through the hallway. Then the dad woke up and he shot at the serial killer. Then the serial killer jumped out the window and got away. So then the dad was like, oh, she saved my son's life and all of this stuff. And then she got all this recognition by herself. So Michaela, of course, was in her feelings. And then they stopped being friends or whatever for a while. Then Prom comes along. And Sadie and Jordan, they're dating each other or whatever, and it's all lovely and great, whatever. So but she seems like she's kind of bored with him, but they want prom king and queen and stuff like that. Anyways, meanwhile, Michaela, she's leaving home, her ride shows up, and It's a limo. Just so happened the serial killer is her ride. And they going to the school to fuck shit up. Or whatever. So they get there. And she makes sure that Sadie sees her. So then Sadie follows her into whatever little rafters. Anyway. And they're talking, and she was like, you know, you betrayed me and all this stuff, but it's okay. He's gonna try to kill you, but I'm here. I'm gonna save you because you're my best friend. But Jordan had followed them or whatever, and he was eavesdropping, so he pushed a thing over or whatever, and then the serial killer got from up under there, but he was just like, turned on Michaela and was like, oh, you thought I was gonna forget about the stuff you did? You had me chained up, all the chloroform and stuff, and you made me eat dog food and all of this. So he tried to go at her, but Michaela, she came ready. She put a little gun out her purse and shot him in the head. He died. And then she turned to Sadie and Jordan was like, Sadie, come on, let's get away from her, like she's crazy. And then Sadie was like, no, she's my best friend, she just saved my life or whatever. And he was like, no, you need to stay away from her, you're nothing like her. And then she was like, oh no, I am. I'm everything like her. And then they killed him. And then she was like, they were like, oh my God, I miss you so much. And then they like made up or whatever as best friends. And then she handed Sadie a mask. They put their little mask on and were like, a night to remember, best night ever. And they were like, yes. And so they lit one of the streamers on fire. And then they sent airdrop text to everybody in the school with the outside of the doors chained up. And so then all the decorations started being on fire. So the kids started running to try to get out. Child burnt down the school with all them damn kids in it. And only a few people survived. And they came out as heroes and survived victims and all of that stuff. Got full scholarships to college and all of that. And went on about their life. I said, you know what? I would have wrote this. Because they really got away with it. Anyway, y'all should check it out. Like I said before, it's on Hulu. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video down in the comments. Let me know if y'all have any other scary movie that y'all would like me to watch this month. Tomorrow, I will be going to see Venom, and that's going to fill in as one of my scary movies because I'm classifying it as such. And then Sunday, I'm going to see A Star Is Born, and I'm going to review it that day. That'll count as my video for the day. I know it's not a scary movie, but oh well, I'm giving you a video every day. Trying to make them all horror, but it might not be. Anyway, what did you guys think about this review? What did you think about Tragedy Girls if you've seen it? And if you haven't, like I said, you can see it on Hulu. It's your girl, Sweet Potato. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Share it as well. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for another video. And this has been Couch Potato on the Go. Thank you, guys.